welcome to the debut of Windy Hollow Garage. That's right, the very first episode. And on our very first episode, we're going to tackle the front brakes on a 1968 Dodge Dart. We're going to get rid of the factory drum brakes, replace them with a fancy kit from Strange. We're also going to get rid of our 50-year-old clapped out shocks and replace them with some fancy adjustable QA1s. I get some help from my shop supervisor and Mama Bear along the way.
Do us a favor, be patient with us the first 3 to 5 minutes. Mama's still trying to figure out the editing. Once you get past that, it should be good to roll. Do us a favor as well and go ahead and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and leave us any comments about what you'd like us to make some videos about, talk about, and give us any feedback. That way we know what we can do better to keep you guys entertained as we go on this adventure.
Alright, so this is Plan B, our 1968 Dart. And it's got, it's originally a grandma car from New Mexico. Pretty much you can see there's like no rust at all. She's pretty much mint. Paint's like brand new, like the day it rolled off the factory floor. But the grandma engine is no more. But the grandma engine is no more. She's been replaced with a mild 340 that one of my friends. Apparently this motor may have been built for nitrous, so I guess we'll find out. I don't know. I don't have a lot of money in it, so if it's not, I guess, oh well. I guess we'll just put a big block in it if it does. So, but we'll see what happens. You can see it's got a 340. It's got like 10-to-1 compression. It's got the infamous X heads, I believe. Yeah, you can see it's got the X heads on the stamping on the. So I just on the crap out of this one is a burnout machine. You see, we put an MSD box on it. Still got manual death brakes on it, manual drum brakes. But everything works on it. The heat works. The wiring is impeccable. This is a mint car, believe it or not, other than the paint all being burned off of it. Let's see. You see we got the classic Kraggers. Only a couple little whiskey dents, nothing too bad. I did give her the Freiburger's famous, what do we call it? What's he call it? The Comet Wash. I gave her the famous Comet Wash, which cleaned her up a little bit there, but got all the scuzz off of it. Pretty much no rust back here. The floor pans are mint. You see, look at this. This is unbelievable for a 55-year-old car that has not been touched. Still got the original jack. All the lights still work. So, of course, we're going to mess it up by putting nitrous and V-Box on it. Why not, right? Inside, it is still, the interior is pretty much immaculate other than the headliner in this car. You can see Grandma must have smoked a lot of cigars because the ashtray's got a little burn mark in it there. But otherwise, she's pretty much mint. She didn't even come from the factory with carpet. She has the old vinyl mat. But look at these door panels. These are original 1968 door panels. That is unbelievable. Krager's off. I love these wheels so much.
They're too shiny for the car.
And the gold beadlocks are not.
Well,
these are reverse thread lugs, so let's hope that she doesn't bust them apart here. What mode do you have the Milwaukee on? It needs to be on.
I have it pushed all the way to the right. Didn't push it to the left.
Let's see, this is the driver's side.
This is the passenger side.
This is passenger side. So try going, I think you want to be tightening them to take them loose.
So I need to go to the left on the button, right?
Yes. Okay. Let me try. Alright, try the other way.
Oh, it's not moving either way.
just hit it more than 1 second. Okay.
There we go.
Go with a star, not in a. Yeah. The first Ugas are just warm-ups. It's like the third and fourth one where it actually starts.
Oh, that's the most important.
Yeah,
huh?
the first Ugas don't really do anything. It's the sequential Ugas that add power.
Got it.
So the first Ugas just test the water.
Just touch the water, huh?
So we're ready to start on our 1968 Dart brakes. Fun fact, as we talked about yesterday, these are left-hand threads, and the lugs themselves actually have little L's on them so that you can know which side is left hand and which side is right hand. These are 5x4, I believe. So they don't really make a lot of cool wheels for these 5x4 original Mopar A-body bolt pattern, which is kind of one of the main reasons we want to do this swap. I love my old Kraggers, but they're only 14s, and I think we can do a little bit better. Plus, these drum brakes are probably not my favorite thing to work on in the world. Technology's come a long way in the past 50 years, so upgrading these to our Strange kit is definitely going to be a huge improvement. We did actually take some time to read the instructions. Since they are brakes, we're not just going to wing it this time. Although, we have been known to do that in the past.
To be clear, I read the instructions.
Apparently, it's very specific on how they go together. Who knew? I've used this kit before on a 69 Dart that I had way back in the day. So I knew that this kit was pretty comprehensive and pretty easy to work with. That's just why I went with the Strange kit over the Wilwoods, and of course TBM doesn't make a kit for Mopar yet. Hopefully Doug and Cletus will someday. We'll decide to do that someday, but they don't yet. So we just take the castle nut off and pretty much should pull off. I've been in here a couple times adjusting these, so these are pretty. I mean, these brakes worked amazing for 50 years old. This car stopped on a dime. This is like a daily driver car. We drove it to Easter, which is like an hour away. We drove it all over. I drove it to work, to sit in the parking lot with all the other Teslas. It fits in really well with the Teslas at work. But here we go.
Oh, the shoes are pretty worn on that one too.
Yeah, we got our money's worth out of the pads. But I noticed no leaks, no grease, no nothing. It is pretty well mint in there. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I don't know if there's too many cars that 58 years from now, you'll pull the hub off and the things will look like this. We have this handy dandy tool that I got from my father's estate. So, I hate doing brake springs, but apparently this is supposed to make it so you don't die. So normally, we would all wear helmets, even the dog, for this because sparks fly. But hopefully, with this tool, it's like uneventful now.
Much less dramatic.
It's uneventful. I don't like almost kick the car off jack stands. It's not that I ever have a temper. Shout out to my racing buddies. I never have a temper.
Never ever.
And the dog's unfazed. He's the shop dog. He's our mascot.
Sleeping away like nothing's going on.
He's very used to loud cars and being sprayed with brake cleaner and
Expecting treats from all of our neighboring
laying in the
racers.
dirt. He likes to lay in whatever dirt pile I make out here. He immediately goes to lay in it because he doesn't like to be clean. And he kind of smells like a dirty sock right now, but that's okay because we love him. Go to Harbor Freight and buy these. These are like not expensive. It's like $7, I think. I looked. And we definitely got our money's worth. Race this car for a race. We did race this car, kind of, a few times this year. And a quarter mile, I think it ran like, it did run over 100 mile an hour, I think.
Yep, it was the first time it ran over 100 miles an hour this year.
So, I mean, it was going fairly fast for drum brakes, but it didn't have any trouble. It never pulled or anything. It went nice and straight.
Bub, do you not appreciate the noises? You look annoyed.
Obviously, the worst part of this job is getting the 50-year-old brake lines to break loose. So, I don't normally use fire, but I see all the other guys use fire. So, I'll probably use my flammable brake cleaner. That would be smart.
It's usually helpful.
Fire rag here. Got my coffee to put it out with if anything catches on fire. We did hit this with
PB Blaster.
PB Blaster last night, so it's been soaking overnight, but I don't really think that's going to do much for them. So,
Fire!
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's either loose or broken, so
Guess we'll find out here in a minute.
I think it's loose. Look at that? We're like professionals now.
Totally.
Mildly. It still fits on that, so we didn't screw it too bad. Oh yeah, look at that, beautiful. So, since we've got everything apart to this point, we're going to go ahead and upgrade to our fancy single adjustable QA1. A slight upgrade over the 50-year-old factory ones. Those are like my favorite shocks to use on a Mopar. I know AFCO makes really good Mopar shocks. Also had the Caltrac ones. I don't love the knobs on the Caltrac ones. They're like plastic and seem kind of chintzy. I've also used the competition engineering ones. The problem is you have to take those apart to adjust them. So that's kind of annoying. So these QA ones are not super expensive. For what they are, they're not super expensive. Actually, Summit had them on sale for $25 off on Black Friday. So go ahead and put those in. And of course, on my Mopar, it's pretty easy to change the shocks. Front shocks are not too complicated on an old A body. I already took the top bolt out, so just kind of turn the spindle so it's out of your way would be. Just drop right up. Next, so this one is a little worse than the others, but you can see the shock wasn't really shocking anymore. It was, but they were really good. Oh my gosh, as you do it, will get worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely. Oh my.
So we got our money's worth out of our 50-year-old shocks, and now we'll upgrade to the QA ones. Fun fact: always put these little QA1 sends these little bushings that I always forget to put into their shocks, and then I end up taking them back apart. So I send two different. Make sure you get the right one for your bolt. So this one looks like it's the thicker one. All right, we got our shock ready to install. The hardest part of this is getting the old one-piece gasket out. You pretty much have to saw it out. So we just put this in there. Parts of this swap is trying to figure out what is the weight difference between our 50-year-old relics and the bougie new strange brakes. So we've got everything piled up here. This is everything, the shoes and everything are in there. We're not trying to, so everything's in the assembly here. So we'll see, it comes out to 28 pounds. So that weighs 28 pounds. Okay, so I've got all the parts collected from the strange kit. So we'll see what the weight difference is between all of this compared to our original 50-year-old drums.
Oh, hi, bub. You're gonna help?
And 12 pounds. So 28 to 12 pounds. So what, 16-pound difference per side?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, 38 pounds? So 38 pounds sprung weight. So 38 pounds sprung weight should be pretty significant. It's good for doing wheelies. Our trip to Rural King was successful. We were able to get a grade 8 bolt that was the same size as the other side and fit correctly. So now we can go ahead and install our hub. We got the studs already mounted. They're already torqued down and blue Loctited. So hopefully they will not give us any issues. We also put the bearing is already pressed in and greased up, and the seal's already pressed in. So it's a pretty handy little kit.
And he put the caliper mount on already too.
And I went ahead and greased all the 50-year-old ball joints while I was in here, just for good measure. Mom Mopar would be proud. Let's see, it fits like a glove. The only thing we're having a problem with is these nuts are just a little bit too thick, and they don't let where the spindles are drilled for the cotter key go through. So we're either going to have to get shorter nuts or get nuts that are already drilled for the cotter keys, because I tried to drill these but they're hardened and they did not drill. They will not drill with any rivets that I seem to have. So we'll put it together like this for now, and I did figure out what they are. I was hoping Rural King would have some, but they did not. They're a little thicker, but they're 3/4 by 16, so I'll just have to get on the beat boot box later and see what we can find. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Setting the bearings, we just torque them down to, it says torque them down to 20 foot-pounds. Feels like a highly calibrated 20 foot-pounds to me. And then back it off until there's just no play is what it says. So, right there's just a little bit of play, so we need to just a little bit tighter than that. So right about there should be good. All right, and we can go ahead and kind of put this on. I was able to kind of get one finger through on the other side for the moment, but it's definitely not going to be a long-term solution. Yeah, I can't get one on this side, so.
That cotter pin's quite a bit bigger than the one you used on the other
The
side.
hose caps are super fancy for these. Actually come with little O-rings and just pop right on so that they don't leak. There we go. Just needed a little lead to go on this one. And then your rotor. Like so. And on the other side, it says to use 3 shims, but we only needed 1. So the goal is to get your caliper centered over your rotor, and with your brake pads in there, and everything's directional. You can see the arrow always points down on this. The arrow on the rotor always points down. The arrow on this always points down. back together. We used this Wilwood brake line kit for all the lines, and comes with the clips, the adapters, and then I think they're -3 AN lines for brakes. Everything went together quite easy. That kit makes it amazingly easy. It works really well with the strange. It has a 90 degree adapter to go in the back of the caliper, and everything works fine at full travel each direction. So that and the adjustable shocks and brakes, this thing should be one step closer to the track. So we'll get the wheels back on it here soon and get the brakes bled and see where we go from there. I got this really cool ratchet. This is an old snap-on ratchet. Look at this. It actually says off and on. Why don't they all do this? Because I don't know how your short-term memory is, but I can never remember if I'm going the right way. Especially when you're in a weird position, upside down, your arms twisted backwards, standing on your head. I mean, it's not really the case here, but then you're like, am I going the right way? I think I'm going the right way. Even though I've been doing this for 25 years, still sometimes you wonder, am I going the right way? I think I am. With this one, you don't have to guess. But this tool came from my dad's estate, so it's pretty cool, because it's like he's always helping us out here in the shop. Even though he can't be with us anymore, it's like he's always helping, which is kind of neat. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have similar things with your dad, or grandpas, or uncles, or whatever. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get this caliper off of here. He would definitely think the 68 Dart was cool. For one, he loved blue. Number two, he loves things that went he loves things that went fast and did burnouts. But I don't remember him ever having one A body. And it was a, well, actually technically I don't know if that would have been an A body. That would have been a 64 Barracuda. I don't know if they qualify. I think those were the first A bodies actually. Alright, so there's our shims we had in there. We only had one, but we are going to 0. And so let's go ahead and put that back on there with no shims. That's how good these strange kits are. You don't even need any darn shims. How awesome is that? So, it's a lot easier to put together when you're not wrestling the rotor at the same time you're wrestling the caliper and brakes and everything. Loctite. I forgot Loctite. Alright. How often does everybody forget Loctite once they start another bolt? Anyway, BRB. Alright. Now we have the Loctite. Alright, so we get Loctite on these. That's fine. I only do everything 3 times. That's how you know it's done right, is when you've done it. Is it really even done if you haven't done it 3 times? I mean, does it even count? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it counts. Alright, so just give a little dabble to you. This is a red Loctite, because you know, you never really want your brakes falling off, calipers falling off. And let's see what we got here on the other side. Alright, just a little dabble to you. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright. Slug it down, and then we are going to the torquey wrench, and these torque down like 38 foot-pounds. That's not very much, but actually I think it's 35, but because I'm a wild man, I'm going to go 38. Now this one actually has the magical off and on too, so I think this one also came from Grandpa's estate, so it's pretty cool. So maybe he always struggled with righty-tighty, lefty-loosey too. Maybe we're just a little dyslexic out here. Maybe I inherited that. It's possible. Huh. Alright. Alright. That was easy, and let's see how much better this is centered now. Oh, it's like perfection. It's pretty much perfection right now. So, let's take look off. Let's look at how good these are lined up now. Look at that. Look at that. That is the perfection. Look at the perfection. Perfection. That is like exactly dead center. No shims, no nothing. So I don't think you could ask for any better. You see, this turned out, it was the same thing on the other side. Just absolutely turned out so good. We got brake lines, just QA1 shocks. Everything just turned out so good. You can see how clean this car is under here. It's just pretty good stuff. All right, let's get our new wheel on. We are back on the Dart today. And one problem we had last time, it's not a big problem, but it was a problem when you're facing parts. I have 1,000 lug nuts laying around the shop, but I didn't have any that would work on my Magnum wheels that are from the swap meet. So I had to order some from Summit. That's why we were kind of struggling when I did the front brakes to get a lug nut to fit. But the little recess here for these Magnum wheels is really small, and so you have to get the special small washer. So I did order some on Summit Racing, and now they fit perfect. So we can get these bolted up. And we're also gonna double check the spacing on the front caliper. I think we might go with no shims. I kind of don't think we need any shims. They actually fit so good that I think we're gonna go back to no shims. And then we'll finish up the front brakes. I got these wheels, what, like 2 years ago? I think I got these wheels 2 years ago. And I love these wheels. I swear these wheels were on John Force's funny car when I was a kid, and I love them. So. I think that's like every car guy's best, like the day you get new wheels. I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but I think for me and my brother specifically, I know my younger brother might be a little more obsessive about wheels than I am. I know he drove like 18 hours one time to get a set of rims. I don't think I've ever done that, but I did drive 6 hours to get these rims. So, there's that. But they're worth it. Look at them. Look at them. It's like the best day ever when you get to put new rims on your car. There's only a couple things I need to know. There's only a couple of things that I can think of that are better. But we won't talk about it. This is a family channel. Spins. Oh my gosh, they're so awesome. Now, I'm not going to give those any oogas to tighten them down. I will do the correct thing and torque wrench these down. I'm not a complete Neanderthal. Well, I might be, but so cool. If you don't really think these are cool, I don't know if we can be friends. I don't know. What is everybody else's favorite wheels in the comments? I know RC Comp has about the best wheels out right now too, but you can't find those at swap meets right now. Those are $2,800, and I wasn't just That wasn't in Grandma's piggy bank, let me tell you. Not in Grandma's piggy bank. All right. So one fun fact about this wheel, maybe you've noticed it already. Did you notice something special? Look at that valve stem cap. Look at that. Look at that. That is custom right there. That is off of a 44 Magnum casings. Do you believe that? Now there's a fun story about that. And someday, maybe I can get the guy that I bought these wheels from to share it with us. But in the meantime, we will just bask in their glory. Anyway, gold Magnums with 44 Magnum valve stem caps. Does it really get any better than that? I'm sorry, if you don't think that's cool, I'm not entirely sure we can be friends. Alright, so we're here with the shop supervisor. He's inspecting the wheels. What do you think about the new wheels? What do you think about those? Are they good? Did they pass your approval? Yeah. Did they pass? Can you? Yeah, he's a good boy. To be fair, he's cheating. He just wants a treat. It's time for a break. Anyway, he's the world's best boy. So he gets all the treats he wants. Car over here might get some attention this winter too. I don't know. Teaser, more to come on it later. Fun fact about this car. It has one of the only female nostalgia super stock drivers in the country. I think there's only a couple that I know of, so more to come about this car in the future. Teaser alert. Well, it's a bittersweet day. The old Kragers are finally getting retired.
Time to move on to the next project. Stay tuned for the next episode to see what we work on next.